Hi guys, hello and welcome back to another video right here on the channel. So, I was having a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago now, one of my kind of loose gaming pals, and the conversation of solo gaming came up, and he said to me, like, what is solo gaming? And I thought, practicing this as much as I do, and as much as a lot of gamers do, that everybody kind of knew what it was. And it got me to thinking, and I got chatting to Mel, and I thought it might be a little video in there, because the gameplay, board game stuff is going to be heavily featured on the channel over the next sort of 12-18 months and further and beyond with that. And just something that Mel had said, where I kind of intermittently just drop words in and expressions in while we're doing sort of gaming videos, and not even realise half the time. And one of those things, looking back on some of the videos I've made, has been solo gaming. So I thought, let's lift the lid off and let's have a little chat about what it is. Okay, so solo gaming is playing a game on your own, solo. But why do people do this? Why? If most of us have got like big groups of friends or a couple of gaming pals that come around regularly, and you can put up like a game like a Relic or a Talisman or something like that onto the table, King of Tokyo. Why do you need like solo gaming? Because gaming is predominantly really a sociable experience, with or without alcohol, and stuff, but it's mainly, to a lot of people, myself included, a chance to blow off some steam, after a long week in work or something, or a long day. So solo gaming, basically, it's a chance for several things. Main things that come to mind are, I get a lot of new games, okay, and I know a lot of rule sets in this thick old grey skull up here. So solo gaming is handy to sit there, to have a cup of tea, cup of coffee, sit there, have a look at a rule book, get the game components out, set up a game, and just sort of work your way through the turns. You do this, you do that, you do the other, roll this dice, pull that card, whatever, and like learn the mechanisms without the pressure of having to be like the man, the person who all your mates come round to your house to, and expect you to know everything. And a lot of people out there who are in that position can like associate with that. So yeah, learn how to play a game, okay, is one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is, I might come home from work tonight and Mel might be tired. She might be out doing something with the kids or whatever. Nobody could be available. It could be 11 o'clock at night. Mel's had a long day, she's in bed, and I'm thinking, I just want to play a game. I can't wake her up, I can't go and get the kids. Everybody else is busy because they're in work tomorrow or whatever. So crack a game open yourself and play, and just have that experience. Something like an Arkham Horror, as an example, will come to mind. Something you've got like scenarios and a base and a story and that kind of thing, so that's like another reason really, if you can't get older people. Staying with that, there might be a game, again, I'm going to use Arkham Horror as like an example, that maybe Melody doesn't want to play, maybe Ali's not interested in, but I really want to do it, and I've invested like a lot of money in like expansions and wanting to play this game, so there's a chance for me to experience that on my own. Another reason, quarterbacking. There's another term for you. Quarterbacking is if you've got like a co-op game and you've got 4 people around the table as an example, and one person either knows this game or they're a little bit of an arsehole, and they're trying to tell everybody else, you do this on your turn, I'll do that, and then, you don't need that. Depending on the kind of game you play, you don't want to, it's an experience, more so like in adult life, none of us get any time, or certainly spare time to sort of sit down and enjoy something. So it takes quarterbacking away from that. If you've got people like that around your table, I'm telling you now, get rid of them. I've had them in the past, and they're not worth it, they're detrimental to the group. But that's like another reason why you might want to sort of sit there and solo game. You've got nobody in your ear going, oh, you've got to do this. Or you might want to sort of try a deck as an example, like like a new strategy, and that may not work along with like your pals who want to play such and such. Talisman, you might want to be a different character, you might want to try a different character build out, something like that. Melody might want to play with like a warrior and a sorceress. You know, she might want to play with like a troll and a cleric or whatever. So, you know, there's like another example. So, you know, you can see all, like, straight away these kind of like examples, like why solo gaming is so good. And, you know, it's a prerequisite of my gaming collection. I actually have a look, and if it doesn't say there's like a one player, or it doesn't say there's a capability via bending rules or house rules to actually solo something, unless it's something that comes up and smacks me in the face that I haven't got and I really want, I won't buy it. That's how big soloing is to me. I describe myself, I love solo games on the top, co-op games next, and then sort of group games. You know, that's like me. So my gaming habits have changed a lot, obviously, with like the rest of the world, with the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, as that's kind of peaked and it's come down, it's doing what it's doing. You know, again, these are other things that you can't kind of get out to a gaming club, or you can't, you know, get hold of your mates. Or do you know what? You might just be a little bit socially awkward. Maybe you don't want to play games with other people. Maybe you don't want that pressure of having like that experience ruined, or having to know every rule and looking silly, you know, if you don't know it. We've all been around the gaming table, you know, playing 40k or something like that, and you said, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then somebody turns around and says, well, no, you can't do that. Like, don't you know that rule? And, you know, you feel about that big, don't you? So, I mean, again, you know, so you're starting to see now loads and loads of, you know, examples of why solo gaming is what it is, and the advantages of solo gaming over group gaming. So, how do you get into solo gaming? Okay, well, like I say, all the things I just said, you need to put that through your mind, get your mindset going. Because I'll be honest with you, first few games I played solo on my own, I thought a bit silly, because I tend to talk to myself, you know, so I'll talk my way through a turn and I kind of say, oh, well, if I do this, I do, you know, and you listen to yourself, almost like when you first make a YouTube video and you watch yourself back and you think, oh, you know. So you have that, you've got to get by that first. That's what you've got to get your head around, okay, first and foremost. And then add a little bit of humour. You know, you're going to say to people, oh, I solo game, do you play with yourself? You know, expect this, you know what I mean? It's one of them stupid responses, isn't it? Okay, but on all serious now, you know, so what is this, you know, what is a solo game? Okay, so solo game is a game that will say just for one player, obviously. Okay, but here's the thing, okay? Like, anything like that says 2 however many players, say a Pandemic, say 2 to 5 players, okay? Now, a game that you can do, or a Zombicide, a Hellboy, anything like that you can play, I'm just looking at my shelf, with more characters, where you're in like a group and you're doing something, you can play that solo. For example, say Pandemic, you know, you could be a researcher and you could be a medic, and you could play what's called two-handed solo, so you could play 2 characters. You could play like the medic's turn and you could do whatever he or she is doing, and then let the game, you know, come back and do what it's doing. And then, you know, you can play what the other character wants to do, you know, and etc. and let the game work against you. So you've got that. So, you know, you could be playing like Castle Ravenloft, Dungeons and Dragons, and you could have a warrior, a dwarf, a cleric and all that. And the game is basically playing against you. So you're going along and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're doing the other, and then the monsters will attack you. You know, so basically games that are co-op are good for anything that says solo or co-op are your best bets. However, it doesn't end there. Okay, because you can get, I mean, I'm not saying every board game on the planet you can do it with, okay, because obviously there's stuff that you can't, but generally games that have got something that is called an automa, it's something that the game has got to work against you. So you and I do our moves and then the game will do such, usually by pulling the card or pulling the token. You know, a monster will attack or a door will shut or that kind of thing. Anything along them lines there. But if you work it right, you could even do, like, I play Talisman. I play Star Wars Talisman, Batman Talisman, I play Relic, all the Talisman games. I play them solo. I'll just set up a character and I'll just play. I don't need other people. I can take my dwarf on like an adventure through the crags and the woodlands and the inner region and get the crown of, you know, command in like Talisman. I can just turn around and say, well, I'll play the game until I lose all my lives. A bit like a video game, if you look at it like that way. You know, so there's some like your options there, guys. I really hope that I've opened your eyes to what solo gaming is. I'm not saying it's for everybody. It probably isn't. You know what I mean? Because I say at heart, we are sociable creatures, and board games are things that help to facilitate our social needs like that. And you can't beat a group with a few beers and a little bit of laughs and making stories that people still... I still talk about stories now in my gaming group from 10 years ago. A big attack or something went wrong or somebody dropped something, or, you know, it all helps to keep the banter and the flow going. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for your time. And, you know, leave me some comments below. Do you do solo gaming? Is solo gaming something you'd like to try? Would you not? If not, why not? Is it for you? Is it not for you? Did you enjoy this video? Okay, listen, before I go, if you're new here and you like board gaming stuff and a mix of eclectic other stuff as well, have a look through the back catalogue. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and more important than that, leave me a comment below. Okay guys, thanks for that, and I'll see you all next time.